A 16-year-old has been sentenced to 1 to 15 years behind bars for an armed robbery that he took part in. Now, what's interesting about this particular case is that he did a plea deal, and under the plea deal, he was expecting to get only 180 days behind bars. However, the judge decided that no, this Utah boy deserves to spend more time behind bars because of the crime that he committed. Now, Cooper Van Huizen pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree felony robbery for his role in a home invasion last year. So he and a group of his friends actually went into a home. They were armed. Apparently, he took guns from his home and utilized it for this armed robbery. They left with very little. They left with $10, a wallet, and a wallet, a cell phone, and a bag of marijuana. Now, the district judge, his name is Ernie James, told Van Huizen at the May 7th sentencing hearing he believed that the terms recommended by prosecutors and the probation board were, quote, too soft, and instead sent the boy to Utah State Prison for 1 to 15 years. Now, it's unclear exactly how much time he's going to serve, but remember, the original plea deal, the terms for that plea deal indicated that he would serve a maximum of 180 days. And as a 16-year-old, I think that probably makes sense. He shouldn't be tried as an adult because he is not an adult, and that's not to say that what he did wasn't a violent crime. It certainly was a violent crime, but there's a reason why we have 2 ways of dealing with criminals in the country. We have people who are under the age of 18 who should not be treated as adults, and then we have people who actually are adults and they should be prosecuted as such. Now, the judge noted during Van Huizen's sentencing that prosecutors uncovered evidence that the teens planned 6 similar robberies, but the teen's attorney said no evidence linked him to the plot. What's really fascinating about this is he is not only tried as an adult, he might serve anywhere between 1 to 15 years behind bars. He is going to be in a maximum security prison. And this is a 16-year-old that has no prior offenses, no criminal record. And again, I hate that I have to repeat myself, but people are going to misinterpret it. What he did was wrong. He should face some sort of punishment, some sort of consequence for it. But making him serve anywhere between 1 to 15 years behind bars after the plea deal had indicated he would only serve 180 days doesn't make sense. And the reason why I say that is because our prison system does not rehabilitate people. Our prison system is more likely to turn people into hardened criminals. In this case, he already is a criminal, but I think it's going to make the matter worse. A 16-year-old needs to be rehabilitated, not sent to a maximum security prison, which, by the way, also houses people who are on death row. Just to give you another really weird angle to this story, the teen's co-defendant, he's a 17-year-old by the name of Joshua Dutson, was sentenced by the same judge to 210 days on the same plea agreement Van Huizen accepted. And then another teen involved in the case, a 19-year-old by the name of Tomek Perkins, pleaded guilty to second-degree felony counts of attempted robbery and burglary and was sentenced in April to 180 days. So I'm not entirely sure why this happened to him, but all I do know is when you look at our justice system and when you look at what happens to teenagers that get sent to prison, they're very unlikely to come out rehabilitated. They're more likely to come out having severe issues. And a prison with death row inmates is not exactly where he deserves to be. I don't agree with what the judge did, and I do want to give you guys specific recidivism numbers because it shows you just how much our justice system fails us. If you look at males in the United States, about 53% of them are likely to return to prison within 3 years of their release, and if you look at females, it's about 39%. That is shockingly high, and it's because we have this knee-jerk reaction when it comes to crime. We're all about making it as punitive as possible, but we don't give a shit about recidivism. We don't care about rehabilitation. We don't care about actually helping these people. And when you're dealing with a 16-year-old, he's a kid and he should be tried as a kid. He didn't murder anyone. Yes, he did an armed robbery. He went into someone's home. His peers pointed guns at the individuals living in that home. There should be consequences. But to change the terms of the plea deal right after he pleads guilty doesn't make any sense to me. Putting him in a max security prison also does not make any sense to me.